Has anyone ever told you in life that nothing is free? Well, that's ridiculous because that's what this video tab is gonna be. Ooh, I unconsciously rhymed there. All right, let's go. Hey, my name is Dornak, the video coordinator for Wiser Living, and today we are talking about free things to do in Springfield, Mo. Yeah, free, baby! Who doesn't like a good discount? If you don't, you are crazy. Crazy! I said it. Also join our Facebook group to stay up to date on all the things that we're doing. You'll find all the goods there, and we want to connect with you, so be sure to check that out. Now there's a lot here that we're going to discuss. Some may seem a little bit obvious, like parks, shopping areas, and stores, but don't take away from how special some of these are. Now let's begin with one that Jesse insists is like half of the things you can do for free in Springfield. Granted, there's a lot of really cool things that you can find here. Even if you're not going to the aquarium, which is one of my favorite things in Springfield, by the way, you're probably gonna know what this is. It's Bass Pro. This place is top-notch and you can stay there all day. It's the original Bass Pro and it's almost 500,000 square feet dedicated to the beauty of the outdoors. What I like about it is that while it's inside, there are exhibits all over the place that make it look like it's not. When you walk around, you'll see exhibits like a giant waterfall, there's animal exhibits all over the place, a giant bear that a lot of people take pictures next to. They have the firing range here, the tracker boat showroom, and the Hemingway Blue Water Cafe. Here you can find the Bass Pro Shop's Motorsports Museum. It features a variety of racing memorabilia such as fire suits, helmets, and racing collectibles. Visitors can get an up-close look of the actual cars used in races. One of those cars is the champion number 3 car that Dale Earnhardt drove for the Daytona 500 in 1998. I admit I don't know a lot about racing, but I have heard that name before, so you know it's important. Now, while you're still at Bass Pro, you can also visit the NRA National Sporting Arms Museum. Now, if you're really into guns, they have over 1,000 firearms that trace the history of hunting. You can find guns used by Tom Selleck, John Wayne, and Charlton Heston, along with Colt revolvers used in the Old West. Dang! Dang with a bang in that case. Now this next one is super cool because it's the Archery Hall of Fame and Museum. And yes, this is still in Bass Pro. This has been open since 1971 and it's now been moved to its permanent location in 2012, and it has over 1,500 pieces of artifacts. One of the items in the Archery Hall of Fame is a prototype of the first compound bow manufactured from a man in Billings, Missouri. Hey, Missouri fame, gotta check that out. And one last cool piece that Bass Pro has is the exact replica of Johnny Morris's dad's liquor store. This is the beginning of what started it all for Bass Pro. You can go in and see Johnny's little section with his fishing supplies. It's one of the most unique pieces of Springfield history. I didn't know that this was here, so the next time I go, I'm gonna have to go try to find that because that sounds really cool. And hey, that's only what's in the front of Bass Pro. I have a whole nother section in the back with the aquarium and the museum. I know I mentioned that briefly. Listen, this is one of the most unique places in Springfield. You have to check it out just to see some of the exhibits. It's what makes it special. Now, if you're wanting more things that are relatable to the great outdoors, we made a full video for it. It's right up here, Bazinga. It has activities for swimming, camping, and fishing. Anything like that you can find in that video. So now moving on, we want to mention some of our favorite parks as well. One of the favorites that you can go is the Springfield Conservation Nature Center. The first thing when I hear of this is I think of the 3-mile hiking trail that they have. It's one of the nicest ones we have in Springfield because most of them are paved or lined with a deck to walk on through some beautiful woods not too far away from the Springfield Lake. Inside the Nature Center, you can find nature exhibits, attend programs, purchase hunting and fishing permits, and browse through some nature-related gift shop items. There's also the Frisco Highline Trail, which is the 35-mile trail that weaves from Springfield to Willard and on to Bolivar. Now this is a national recreation trail and is a great resource for biking or hiking. The trail is well maintained and is very scenic. This is all based off the Frisco rail line that was built back in the 1800s and served to build up the town of Willard. This rail line has been turned into the trail and is now a big attraction in the area. The Rutledge Wilson Farm Park is 207 acres designed to provide educational and recreational resources for the community. They have special events throughout the year, a gift shop, a farm-themed playground, plenty of photo opportunities, and one of the biggest things that you can see is the animals. They have ponies, goats, horses, chickens, all of the barnyard animals really. This is a perfect one to take those kiddos to. I wanted to mention these parks because of their trails and activities. However, if you're interested in going to a park, we have so many of them. Enjoying the outdoors is a big one for Springfield residents, and since we already made a video on this, I'm also going to link it right up here so you can have access to it. They have other amazing parks like Nathaniel Green Close Memorial Park, Doling Park, and Sequoia Park. Now for my ladies, if you like shopping, one of the coolest places is down the C Street Historic District. Now this was the original downtown, the downtown OG as some say, maybe that's just me. It's got its own vibe. You can also shop at the seasonal C Street Market on Saturdays, or at the art galleries and the antique and flea markets. Treat yourself to destinations like a chocolate factory that imports and roasts its own beans. Okay, that's cool. A family pizzeria since 1958 called Pizza House, many trendy stores, a few breweries, a few coffee places. There's also a fancy schmancy tea room. This place called Gilmore's is a restaurant and a store fit for a girls' outing. This place is historical and you can find some amazing things. They got it all going on, I guess. Here's one that I find to be a lot of fun, finding murals. There are a number of different kinds of murals that you can find all over the city. Take your time to go on this scavenger hunt to find some of the best ones in Springfield that make the city feel more special. One of my favorite ones is one behind C Street that has Ferris Bueller standing up against a car and saying, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." Which I find to be so poetic because if you're not really looking for it, you could easily miss it. Thank you to whoever came up with this idea because it is brilliant. And another neat little one that's like the last, the sculpture walk. There are a number of interesting sculptures that you can find all over downtown Springfield. And good news is that they've already been organized out so that if you're trying to find any of them or trying to find them all, I'm going to link the website below. The website even allows you to learn more about the specific sculptures. I find them all to be pretty cool. They definitely have some weird ones like a Humpty Dumpty, a rainbow bucket, and my favorite is the pottery. Now how about the First Friday Art Walk? This is on the first Friday of every month and it gives you the opportunity to visit the downtown district where you can enjoy a live band, displays of local art, and plenty of good food. The area during this time definitely brings you a vibrant nightlife and takes you through the historic parts of Springfield. And since this place is on the square, give time to visit the markers of the Duel on the square. Many people already know about this, but if you don't, this is the site where one of the first documented Wild West shootouts occurred. Yes, this was with Wild Bill Hickok and Davis Tutt back in the day. Tutt ended up dying and Wild Bill ended up launching the beginning of the stories that made him into a legend. Sweet. And how could we forget the Springfield Art Museum? This one is very important to the community. They have more than 10,000 works in their permanent collection as well as other exhibits, classes and workshops, and events. This is the place that has a giant statue that looks like a bunch of fries. It's pretty popular. I've really enjoyed coming here. And because I mentioned that, this does remind me of one other thing, and that is the world's largest fork. You can find this in Chesterfield Village. It's one of those things that you're driving around and it pops out. It's kind of a surprise. Anyways, people really love it. You should go. For other museums that are free, be sure to check out the Missouri Institute of Natural Science, the Softball Hall of Fame Museum, Railroad Historical Museum, Lou's Ozarks Fishing Museum, and the Calaboose Museum. These are all free. They might be a little bit small, but they're still Springfield treasures. And hey, if you're a bookworm, good news, because Springfield has a phenomenal set of centers for you to choose from. They have the Library Center, the Library Station, and Park Central Branch Library. As long as you have proof that you live in the general area, it's free to check out books and even use some of their Wi-Fi. This is absolutely phenomenal. Way to go, Springfield! You're ahead of the curve in this case. One that I find very special to this area is the farmer markets of the Ozarks. Here you have many people bringing food to sell in designated areas around Springfield. There are a couple different ones. One of the bigger ones that we have is in Farmers Park. It's so big that they even have food trucks that come. I love this part of Springfield. Go and find yourself a good deal for some fresh homegrown food. Hey guys, don't worry, I'll be linking either their Facebook pages or sites down below if you're interested in any of these free activities. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and get on out of here and have some fun. Adios amigos.